Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chandrika and this is Rika Life. Okay, so some of you have been asking where the name Rika Life comes from, and Rika is part of my name. My name is Chandrika, so the last part of my name is Rika. And when I started kind of getting more into art and things like that back in 2010 and 2011, I decided to use the name Rika Life. So initially, I had used this name for my quilling art, paper art I was doing, and now it just encompasses everything. So I've done so many things since then: fruit carving, embroidery, cross stitch, quilling, drawing, painting, crocheting, knitting. So many things. I'm probably leaving some out. Paper cutting, so many different types of things. And I always felt that naming my, channel or my business Rika Life encompasses all of those. So that's where that name comes from. Just so we get that out of the way. So yeah, I actually made this pillow. It's been a while, but it says love, Love. It's so nice. I love it. So today I am going to share with you a finished object, and funny enough, but this was the project that I was working on in my yarn whip and yarn chat this week. So I was able to finish it, and I even added a border, and I feel like adding the border was more exciting than making the entire blanket. I don't know what it is. I generally don't make borders on the baby blankets. I just finish them and, I'm done. But with this baby blanket, I felt like it needed something, and so I just went with what came in my mind. So this baby blanket that I made is made with Big Twist Twinkle, and it's 97% acrylic and 3% metallic fiber. So this is a Joanne House brand. It is 380 yards or 347 meters, 6 ounces or 170 grams. And it recommends an H 5mm hook. It's a medium weight 4, machine washable, dry flat. This is the color yellow. I used a J hook. I used a 6mm hook with this, and I think it's still attached. No, it's not attached. Okay, but I don't think I've woven in the ends, or maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I was good this time. Let me just see. The front is here. This is the blanket, and this, you can see, is, I think I'm holding it upside down. Hold on. Okay, like that. So we're not holding it upside down. This is the block stitch, and the particular tutorial that I used for this blanket is one by Crystal over at Bag O Day Crochet. She doesn't call it the block stitch, it's just called like Easy Blanket, and I think it has a number. So I will look back in my saved videos to see if I can find that for you. And if I manage to find it, I will put it in the description below this video. So just look out for that, and you can click directly on the link. It'll take you to her tutorial on YouTube. Okay, so this is the block stitch. It's a very, very simple stitch. All you do is the foundation row is 1 single crochet, chain 3, 1 single crochet, and you do that all the way across. And then the blocks are 3 double crochets in each of those chain spaces going across. And that's it. This is my border. I'm trying to see if I'm holding it the right way. I think I am. Yes, I am. Okay. So this is my border. So all I did is, once I was done, I did a round of double crochet in every stitch. So I did double crochets on the sides as well. And then what I did is I made 1 round of ribbing. So what I did is, hopefully you can see that nicely, I did 1 front post double crochet and then 1 back post double crochet, and I did that all the way around. In the corners I did 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, just so that it was a nice rounded corner here. I didn't want anything too square. So it's more of a rounded border, rounded corner. And the border, after finishing the border, this is how much yarn I was left with. So I was debating doing another round of the front post double crochet, back post double crochet, but I don't think I had enough yarn for it. I mean, it might be enough yarn, but I stopped because I wasn't sure that I had enough to get around the whole blanket. Um, of course, I have not measured this, but it's almost looking like a square. And I feel like for this project, making the border really brought the whole project together. It just makes it, sit well, and it gives it like that finishing touch. So I'm thinking that after making like hundreds of baby blankets, I'm thinking that I'm going to start making a border on all my blankets, because I really like how this looks. It just gives it that nice finishing touch. And, it just pulls it all together. So I think from now on, I will be making borders. And that is a good thing. Of course, it's one additional step after you're done your project, but I feel like it's a worthwhile step. I'm going to hold this up a little bit close so that you can see the sparkles. I don't know if you can kind of see the sparkles on the screen there. A little bit. There's sparkles all throughout this blanket. It's very soft. I loved working with this yarn. It's not my first time working with Big Twist, but it's my first time working with Big Twist Twinkle yarn. That's by Joann's. I would definitely recommend using it, and I will definitely be using it again. Even though it has this metallic fiber, it's not scratchy. It's very, very soft. And yeah, like I'm rubbing it on my arm. I can barely feel anything. Which is in contrast to a yarn like, what do I have? Line Brand Mandala Sparkle in the color Nova. And that yarn, to me, I can feel the metallic fiber. And that's why I think it's still sitting in my stash. I haven't used it all. But something like that compared to something like this yarn, the yarn itself is like a worsted weight. So it has its own structure, and then you're just adding a little bit of that metallic part on it. I wouldn't even call it metallic. It's like, when kids play with those things that are on the ends of their bicycles, and it has like those tassels and those iridescent strings on it. That's what this reminds me of. So this doesn't remind me of like a metallic fiber. This reminds me of just something really soft. It's very, very soft to the touch. So I really enjoyed making this blanket. This is probably my like 5th or 6th time using the block stitch, and it's such a great stitch. The way I make generally all of my baby blankets, unless it's in order, is I just chain, and then I put it on my lap, and I see if it looks big enough, and then I just go for it. So that's exactly what I did for this one. Luckily, it turned out to be a good size, and it turned out very good. I wanted to share with you the progress that I'm making on some other things. So I put back my cotton yarn bag in the bin because I kind of just took it out, made 2 washcloths, dishcloths, and put it back. So it's gone back in the bin. Done with cotton yarn for now. Even though I know it's like spring and summer weather in some parts of US, and some people might only be using those fibers right now, but I'm still using my acrylics. I mean, I want to say 99% of my stash and my yarn collection is acrylics, and I'm totally fine with that. So yes, I am making a custom order that I kind of shared a glimpse of in a community post. I am making I think it's called a Berry Blossom Baby Blanket by Daisy Farm Crafts. And I'm finally getting the hang of making that stitch, of making the berry stitch. because before I was just kind of making double crochets and then had to keep checking my work and ripping out some of it. Now I'm getting into the groove and I finally understand. And so I've made some progress on it. I would say it is about this tall already. And that blanket I actually measured. So that blanket is going to be 36 inches by 36 inches. So I've already done the, my God, width, and I'm working on the length. I mean, they're going to be the same. It's a square. But I've already worked it across and now I'm working up the blanket. What was I going to tell you about that project? Yeah, so that's using Bernat Softy Baby and the color is, I think, soft lilac. So that project is going well, but same thing. What happened is as soon as I finished this yellow blanket, I got excited about making a border for that lilac blanket because all these ideas just kept coming in my head when I was trying to go to sleep the other night. I was like, oh, I finished the yellow blanket. What kind of border can I make on the purple blanket? Could I do the same border? Could I do a shell stitch with picots? Like all these ideas were coming in my head and I was like, girl, it's time to go to sleep. So I'm I feel like I'm motivated to work on that blanket just so that I can get to the border and make a really nice border. So I don't know what's happening with me, but I'm getting more excited about the border than the actual blanket. And that's just funny to me because I've always been excited about the blanket and now I'm like, oh, I can't wait to finish the blanket so I can make a border on it. So yeah, I'm making good progress on that. For this week, that is my goal, to spend all of my crocheting time on that blanket. I'd really love to have it done by early next week and be able to give it because that is a custom order and that baby is due in the first week of June. So I don't want to hold on to it and I don't want to get closer to the deadline and be stressed out. So um, I need to get cracking on that. So I may only be publishing, maybe 2 videos this week just because I need to spend my time working on that. That's not something I can just pick up and put down. That's something that's requiring counting and I'm using stitch markers. I need to make sure it's, as perfect as can be because if I miss a berry stitch, it'll show. So it's a little bit of a project that is causing me not tension, but project that is causing me to be careful while I'm crocheting. So I'm not just mindlessly sitting and crocheting and making something like a block stitch or a granny cluster. So I will be working on that. I will probably share pictures of that project once it's finished. And I don't think the person who ordered that from me follows my channel, but maybe she does. But it's not a surprise. I just want to finish it and put a border and have it more ready before I kind of share something like that. I was trying to go through my list, so I have a WIP list, which just shows my works in progress. And I think, if I'm counting correctly, I have 5 WIPs and then that one custom order. So I have 6 WIPs in total. And I was thinking that that's the perfect amount of WIPs for me. Having 5 WIPs and a custom order is good. And once this custom order is done, I'm really going to work on getting some of those WIPs finished, especially the I was making a queen mandala, so that was being done with a thinner yarn, 2 held together. I really want to make some progress on that. And then I'm making a larger mandala project, and that is called the Shapla Bill Crochet Along. Since that came out, it's been discontinued. I'm not sure why, but I have the pattern saved. So I am still working on that. That has like a million ends. So even if I don't want to work on the project, I can sit and weave in some ends. So those 2 of my WIPs are kind of the older ones that are there, and I'd like to make some progress on them once I'm done this baby blanket. The other 2 WIPs that I have are a jelly bean blanket and a moss stitch shawl. And then the one piece that I'm making for myself is a rectangle corner to corner shawl. So yeah, I think that is 6 projects in total. which is good. I don't want to get back up to 10 or 15. Like, it's really exciting making new projects. I'm sure you know that. It's super exciting starting something new, picking out the yarn, choosing your hook, choosing a pattern. Like, it's so fun. It's, aside from finishing a project, that's probably the most fun part of this process. Um, but I need to just work on 6 whips at a time. Like, I don't think I can do more. So I'm going to hold myself to that. I'm not going to start any more projects. I'm going to finish the custom order and I'm going to get working on those whips of mine. One of them is a car project. So the rectangle corner to corner shawl I've kept in my car. And I have been getting time here and there to work on it. So I actually worked on it in the evening once. I pulled it out and took it with me while we were watching a show. So I'm just working on them. I'm like, I have 5 whips and I have an order, so I need to get working on these. So unfortunately, you won't see any new projects from me right now, but I would like to share my progress on some of those once they are bigger. So let me know what else you'd love to see on my channel. I mentioned before that I designed 2 hats, and I think it'll have to wait till next week before I can do the tutorial for it. I'm going to try to write out the written pattern first so that I have it with me when I make the video, because right now it's just chicken scratch. I've just written down in my journal, so it's kind of hard to read my scribbles and writing. So I'm going to type that up, put it in the format that I put my patterns so that it's ready, and then I can create my video, or I might even test it one more time. So I might make another one following my instructions, and then I will make the video tutorial for it. So my plan is to definitely release that in the month of May. I did make 2 hats, but I think just one of them for now is the one that I'll just be working on, one of them. So in case you don't know, there's so much behind the scenes work that goes into making a pattern. There's like so many elements. I won't bore you, but there's a lot that goes behind it before it comes out to the world. So I would like to dedicate some time this month to that and get out a new hat pattern. I'm very excited. I had such great response from my first hat pattern, the Dreamy Beanie hat. That's linked down below in my tutorials playlist. There's also a written pattern on Ravelry. And yeah, I think it's going to be so much fun. Like, I'm looking at them. They're beside me, but I don't want to show it to you yet. So yeah, I will be working on that in the month of May. Let me just get this custom order done, and then I will be working on releasing a new hat tutorial. So yes, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I hope you have a wonderful crochetful day, and I'll see you again soon.